Hey, it's Min here from The Art of Verbal War, where people learn to excel in verbal skills. So here I am bringing you another Harvey Specter video. You know, I hate wasting time watching TV, but somehow I got hooked into the TV series Suits. And that's because Harvey Specter, who's the main character of Suits, is so badass. There's just too much that we can learn from the character Harvey Specter. Have you seen my other two videos on Harvey Specter, how to think on your feet and how to make good comebacks, Harvey Specter edition? If not, you gotta check them out because there's so much you can learn from those videos. But today we're gonna focus on a different aspect of Harvey Specter, not his verbal skills, but his nonverbal skills, in particular his body language. Today we're gonna dissect Harvey Specter's body language like you dissected a frog back in high school, except without the blood and guts. Now recently, I did a video on body language and Don Draper, the main character of the show Mad Men. And in that video, I showed you how Don Draper's body language conveys ultimate confidence and how it helps him persuade his clients to do business with him. Now Harvey Specter's body language also does these things very well. Today though, I'm going to focus on a little bit different aspect of body language, which is what Harvey Specter does very well. And what is this aspect of body language I speak of? It's actually status, dominance, authority, and power. That's what Harvey Specter's body language conveys. As a corporate lawyer and New York City's best closer, Harvey Specter has to use his body language in a different way. He faces much different battles than what Don Draper does in Mad Men. Harvey Specter's body language conveys status, dominance, authority, and power because he needs to use these things in order to close difficult situations day after day. And in this video, so you ready for this? This is some valuable shit, my friends. Let's keep it quiet between us. So if you pay attention to these body language secrets, and they really are secrets, they're gonna pay huge dividends for you later on in life. Okay, so let's do this. So let's start with this. In this clip, we see the trademark Harvey Specter walk that's full of swagger. And in this clip, he's got the patented Harvey Specter smirk. Both of these things convey his confident attitude, especially the smirk, which says, you know, I just know a little better than you. Now in this scene, look at how he looks at the guy walking by, who is probably an associate at his law firm. This piercing look undeniably shows he's got the status to judge the other guy as the senior partner at the firm. In another scene, Harvey's facing a combative guy who doesn't want to give Harvey what he needs. So Harvey challenges him to see if he's willing to take a swing at him. So Harvey juts his chin out and fixes his eyes directly on the other guys to see if the other guy is willing to punch him. The other guy thinks about it for a second, and then he loses eye contact with Harvey because he can't handle the heat, and the confrontation is over. Now in this scene, his nemesis, Louis Litt, tries to get in his face. But instead of letting Louis get in his face, Harvey ends up circling around and makes Louis look like he's chasing his tail. In this scene, Harvey's lecturing his associate Mike about being accountable. When he says, because that's my job, he uses a hand gesture for emphasis. This gesture is very interesting. Instead of a palm up or palm down gesture, which is what most people do, instead of a palm up or palm down gesture, which is what most people do, he holds his hand sideways and points at Mike, which is an almost violent gesture to make his point, as if he's pointing a gun at him. In this next scene, Harvey is negotiating against all odds against a sleazy buyer. But look at the way Harvey sits at the table. Does he betray his position, which is actually that his client is very desperate to sell? Or does Harvey act from a position of strength? Look at Harvey's body language. Open, wide, powerful, and not betraying the facts that he has to face. Not betraying the fact that he's negotiating against all odds. Even in a poker game, look at Harvey's hands. His hands are relaxed, not tightly gripping each other, which would be a horrible poker tell. His face, also relaxed and confident. His hands and face don't betray the bad cards he might be holding. In this next scene, Harvey's getting introduced to a big client of his law firm, but the client is being shady and going back on promises he's made to the other side, and Harvey's being called in by the managing partner to get the client to complete his end of the bargain. Check out the look Harvey gives the shady client when he's introduced to him. He doesn't kiss the client's ass or bend over backward to greet the client. Instead, Harvey gives him a look that looks like Harvey's sizing up the big client. Instead, Harvey gives the client a look to size him up. Harvey needs to do this because he knows he's about to confront the client and make him do something. And Harvey needs to present himself in a way that shows he's an authority over the client. If upon his introduction he kisses the client's ass, then he won't be able to convince the client about what he needs to do. Now in this final scene, Harvey's giving approval to Mike for something Mike did, but look at how Harvey actually does it. He doesn't actually turn his body to face Mike. If he turned his body to face Mike, he would betray his own power over Mike. Instead, Harvey only turns his head and he shakes it to show his approval. Okay, my friends, I've given you everything you need to channel your inner Harvey Specter. Go forth and be powerful and keep being excellent. And please subscribe to this YouTube channel.